Is Moses Moody actually underrated? Moses Moody isn't the flashiest name on the Warriors roster, but every time he steps on the court, he does something that makes you wonder, why isn't he playing more? He's efficient, plays tough defense, and knocks down threes at an elite level. Yet he's often overlooked, stuck behind veterans in Golden State's tight rotation. So is he being underutilized, or is he just another solid role player? Could he be thriving on another team if given a bigger role? Well, let's find out. The statistical breakdown. At first glance, Moses Moody's numbers don't really captivate. He's averaging around 9 to 10 points a game, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist in about 21 minutes a night. That's nothing spectacular, especially in a league where young players are putting up gaudy numbers. But the mistake people make is stopping at the surface. Raw stats don't tell the full story. Efficiency does. And this is where Moody quietly stands out. One of the most impressive things about his game is his three-point shooting. He's hitting 40% from deep this season, which puts him in the upper tier of young wings in the NBA. For context, that's a better percentage than players like Jalen Green with 34.3%, Josh Giddey with 31.4%, and even Scotty Barnes with 33.8%, all of whom get far more attention than Moody. The difference? Those players get more shots, more minutes, and more freedom to operate, while Moody is expected to be hyper-efficient in a limited role. It's not just about hitting shots, it's about when and how he's making them. His ability to knock down catch-and-shoot threes makes him incredibly valuable in the Warriors system, where off-ball movement and spacing are critical. Nearly 80% of his three-pointers are assisted, showing that he's not just a spot-up shooter, but someone who understands floor positioning and plays within the team structure. Like in this game against the New York Knicks, they did not know he was there until it was too late to guard him from making a three.
Gets inside, stops, well defended, but Moody is left wide open for three. Moses Moody from downtown. The lead is up to 9.
His shooting percentage is hovering around 57%, meaning he's making the most of his limited touches. Compare that to someone like Jordan Poole, who has a TS percent of 52% this season, despite averaging only 15 minutes more per game, and it's clear that Moody is maximizing his opportunities. Another overlooked part of his game is his turnover rate, or lack of one. Unlike high-usage young players who often struggle with decision-making, Moody rarely forces bad plays. He's averaging less than 1 turnover per game, which is impressive for someone who often gets the ball in transition or in spot-up situations. That's a sign of high basketball IQ and discipline, something coaches love but stat sheets rarely highlight. Being efficient is one thing, but proving you belong on the floor is another. So, what does the eye test say about Moses Moody? Let's look beyond the numbers and break down how he actually impacts the game. But before that, if you're enjoying the video, hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Now, moving on. What the eye test says. Stats can only tell you so much. To really understand a player, you have to watch how they move, how they react, and what they do when the ball isn't in their hands. With Moses Moody, the impact goes far beyond the box score. He's not the type of player who's going to fill up stat sheets with flashy numbers, but if you watch him closely, you'll notice how much he does that doesn't show up in a basic highlight reel. One of Moody's biggest strengths is his defensive versatility. At 6 foot 6 inches with a 7 foot 1 inch wingspan, he has the physical tools to guard multiple positions, and he uses them well.
Sounds like an interesting story. Great. Mobley knocked away. Moses Moody continues to play hard. Moody on Merrill, runs right through him, puts it up and in, draws the foul.
He's not the quickest laterally, but he makes up for it with smart positioning, active hands, and a strong understanding of defensive rotations. He's the kind of player who doesn't get lost on switches, which is crucial for a Warriors team that thrives on defensive discipline. Then there's his off-ball movement and spacing, something that casual fans might overlook but coaches and teammates love. Moody knows exactly where to be to stretch the floor and create lanes for teammates. He doesn't just stand in the corner waiting for a three. He cuts at the right time, fills open spaces, and makes himself available for quick catch-and-shoot opportunities.
Two legitimate 7-footers going back and forth. Quentin Post getting agile on defense right now. Backdoor cut. Moody was trying to get a foul there. He made the basket anyway. Moody.
It's no coincidence that when he's on the court, Golden State's offensive spacing looks noticeably better. He has proven he can contribute when given the opportunity. But is Golden State the right place for him to truly shine? Let's take a deeper look at how the Warriors system is affecting his development. The Warriors system dilemma. Currently, Moses Moody is in a tricky spot, and it has nothing to do with his skill level. The Golden State Warriors have built a dynasty on experience, chemistry, and trust in their core players, and that's exactly what's limiting Moody's opportunities. It's not that the coaching staff doesn't believe in him. It's that in Steve Kerr's system, young players have to earn their minutes in a way that veterans don't. The Warriors run one of the most intricate offenses in the NBA, relying on constant motion, off-ball screens, and quick decision-making. This system thrives on chemistry, which is why players like Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green get consistent minutes, even when they're struggling. Moody, meanwhile, is stuck in developmental purgatory. Too talented to ignore, but not experienced enough to demand a larger role. Take this season as an example. When injuries sidelined key players, Moody stepped in and delivered. He had stretches where he played 25 minutes and showed flashes of being a legitimate two-way contributor. But the moment the roster was healthy, his minutes vanished overnight. Kerr's rotations favor veterans because he values stability over experimentation, especially in high-stake games. That's why a struggling Klay Thompson will still get 30-plus minutes, while Moody will be lucky to break 15. This raises an interesting question. What would Moody look like on a different team? On a rebuilding squad, he's likely to have a much larger role. Look at a team like the Orlando Magic. They've given players like Jalen Suggs and Franz Wagner the freedom to develop through mistakes. Moody, with his elite three-point shooting and defensive tools, would be a natural fit in a system where he could play 30-plus minutes a night without worrying about being yanked from a single mistake. Or take the Houston Rockets, who have embraced young talent by letting their players figure things out through trial and error. His efficiency would make him a perfect complement to a ball-dominant guard like Jalen Green. Instead of being a low-usage option in Golden State, he could become a true 3-and-D wing with more offensive responsibilities, which he has already shown he's capable of.
And Saric out to Moody to beat the buzzer from three, and he got it! Of course he did. Great awareness from everyone in a double.
Even on a playoff team like the Miami Heat, Moody's game would translate well. Eric Spoelstra has a history of developing overlooked players into key contributors, and his defensive mindset would mesh well with Moody's skill set. Unlike in Golden State, where minutes are dictated by legacy and pecking order, Miami rewards players based on impact and effort. So, is Moody in the right situation? Well, he's doing everything asked of him, but Golden State's structure doesn't allow him to fully spread his wings. Moody's current situation raises another question. What does his future look like? Is he destined to be a role player forever, or is there a path for him to break out? Let's take a look at what comes next for him. Moody future. Undeniably, this guy has already proven that he can contribute when given the opportunity. The real question now is whether the Warriors will ever give him the kind of consistent minutes he needs to fully develop, or if his best path forward involves a fresh start elsewhere. Right now, his situation in Golden State is uncertain. The Warriors are still built around Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson, which means they're operating on a win-now timeline. That makes it tough for young players like Moody to get the kind of freedom they would on a rebuilding team. If Steve Kerr suddenly decided to give him 25, 30 minutes per game, there's a strong chance we'd see a major leap in production. His efficiency numbers already suggest that he could easily be a double-digit scorer if given a bigger role. But the Warriors might not have the patience to wait for that to happen. With the team trying to remain title contenders, Moody could be an attractive trade piece for a team looking to add young talent. His three-point shooting, defensive upside, and team-friendly contract make him an ideal asset for any team trying to balance winning now with long-term development. And with games like these, he would definitely be a steal.
11 for the game. Quiet first half. DiVincenzo from
On the flip side, there's also an argument for the Warriors keeping him long-term. Klay Thompson isn't the player he once was, and at some point, Golden State will have to start transitioning into the next phase of their roster. Moody fits the mold of the type of player they need moving forward, a versatile, efficient two-way wing who could space the floor and defend multiple positions. If they hold on to him and start trusting him with more minutes, he could develop into a key rotation piece for years to come. If he does get traded, his next team could determine whether he becomes a high-level starter or remains a role player. Now that we've broken down his game, his role, and his potential, it's time to answer the big question. Is he getting the respect he deserves, or is he just another solid role player in a deep league? Underrated or properly rated? The answer isn't as simple as yes or no. If you look at his counting stats, he seems like just another role player. Solid, but nothing special. But when you dive deeper, you realize he's one of the most efficient young wings in the NBA, shooting 40% from three, defending multiple positions, and rarely making mistakes. Those are qualities that winning teams need, yet he still struggles to get consistent minutes. That alone suggests he's been overlooked. At the same time, he isn't exactly a star trapped in the wrong situation. He's not a high-usage player who would suddenly average 20 points per game in a bigger role. But could he be putting up 12 to 15 points a night as a starter on a different team? Absolutely. He has shades of players like Desmond Bane before his breakout or Mikal Bridges early in his career. Guys who weren't primarily scorers but became crucial to their teams once given the right opportunity. His future depends on whether Golden State commits to developing him or moves on. Either way, the talent is there. The only question is who will unlock it first. What do you think? Should the Warriors give Moses Moody a bigger role, or would he thrive more on another team? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more amazing videos like this one.